'07 Ford Ranger single cab. As you can see, I have the seats and the floor liner taken out. That's going to be a separate video. In this video, I want to concentrate on a water leak that I found underneath the floor liner. And you can tell by the amount of rust and the fact that it's eaten through the metal that this has been leaking for a long time. So where's the water coming from that's leaking in here? I would imagine that it is water that's running down the windshield into the drain at the cowling at the base of the windshield, and then it should run off to the side and run down through the quarter panel, but it should not be leaking into here, obviously. So let's check the drain up top. This is in the back right corner of the engine compartment. If you take that cover off the fuse box, it gives you more room to reach the 3 7/32 screws that hold this cover on. And I saw this in someone else's video. He was working on an 85 Ranger, and in his video he had a bunch of leaves that were blocking the drain. That was causing water to run into the driver's side floorboard, just like mine. It's way back there in the bottom right corner. Got it. So now let's see what's behind here. And it is clogged up with leaves. So what I think's going on is that where the water should be draining out, obviously, is clogged up with leaves. So that water's finding any way it can to get out, which is what let it down to the floorboard, and that's what rusted everything out. So what I'm going to do is not clean this out right away, because a lot of rain is expected over the next 2 days in my area. So I'm going to put that cover back on. I'm going to wait for rain, and then we'll see if it leaks in. Then I'll clean it out and see if that solves the problem. I don't know why I didn't think of this when I was taking it out, but with a driver like this, if you take 2 of these relays out, then you can get to that bottom screw. You can also get to the top one. And you may be able to get to the bottom right one also. You can. It's a lot more difficult, but you can. If you have one of these, it's much easier than an open-end wrench. We are waiting for rain. Not a heavy rain, but a steady rain. Should last for 2 days. Most of the rain is over, and like I said, it was a steady rain. This is how much we got to send a wheelbarrow. I know that's not a rain gauge, so it's not an accurate assessment, but let's go check out the truck and see if the floorboard is wet. And yes, it is. I can already see water right here. It's not a lot of water, not really enough to make you notice it, which I didn't even know I had a water leak down here. I didn't know that until I took the seats and the floor liner out. So here's the setup inside. I have a camera pointed at the hole where the water's been leaking in. I'm going to cut that camera on. And I have a water hose pointed down at the cowling. I'm going to cut that on so water flows down into there. Hopefully water will leak inside. If it does, I'll take these screws out, reach in, pull the leaves out, and hopefully that will stop the leak. I do see water leaking in, but it's not dripping down from above. See that movement right in the middle? That's where the leak is. That's where it's coming from. So let me take that cover off and pull the leaves out, and hopefully that will stop. So now I'm going to reach in and grab those leaves. I don't know if you noticed the change in sound, but I just cleared that drain. You can see the water flowing past, going left to right. Let me put that cover back on. When we get back inside, that water leak should be stopped. And it is stopped. Remember, right there in the middle, that's where we saw water coming in. And now that that drain is clear, there is no water coming in. So problem solved. When this drain gets clogged up, the water backs up onto the driver's side floorboard, so you need to check this periodically. And you can see right here they put these rubber flaps. I mean, those had to be intentionally put there, I guess, to block the leaves and keep them from going down into the quarter panel. And they put this access panel here, this little door that you can take off, to check this periodically to make sure it's not clogged up. So I thought about cutting these out, but they put them there for a reason, so I'm going to leave them there and just get in the habit of taking this door off every now and then and cleaning out the leaves. In the video I mentioned earlier, the guy was working on an 87 Ranger, not an 85. So an 87 is 20 years older than this one, and it had the same issue. So obviously a pretty common problem. And on the 87, there was no fuse box right in front of the cover, so that was a little bit easier for him. And in addition to that access panel on the driver's side, there's also one right here in the middle, at least on my 07. I took that one off and there were no leaves behind that. On the passenger side, no panel. So I don't know what you're supposed to do about leaves clogging it up on that side. And the last thing I'll leave you with, if you have vinyl flooring, you might have a leak underneath and you might not even know it. I did not until I took everything out in an effort to get rid of the smell of cigarette smoke. That's another video. I'll put a link to that up here in the top left. But if you have vinyl flooring and you have a Ranger or a Mazda B series truck, you might want to look underneath your driver's side floorboard to see if you have that leak. Hope this helps. Thanks for watching.